All right. Good morning, everybody. I've decided to call you my creative friends instead of my stamping friends. I'm Brenda Killard, and I am located in North Central Minnesota, which doesn't matter because online shopping, anybody across the United States can shop with me, which is awesome. Join me on Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. Central Time for my live demonstrations. Um, yeah, let me just double check to make sure all is good here. And it is on live, just like it says. I'm going to give it just a second here for some people to hop on and we'll get started. There's a lot to tell you. There's so many things happening at Stampin' Up! Right now. Um, so this annual catalog is done. The last day to order from this was April 30th. So put this catalog away. And if you need a new catalog, please reach out to me and I'd be happy to either meet up with you to get you one or I can mail one out. Okay. Um, Next on the agenda, I see people hopping on now. This catalog is the last day to order for this is Monday. So um, if there's still things in here that you're interested in, and especially anything bundles, grab it now because if it carries over to the new catalog, it won't be bundles more than likely. So grab it now, 10%. Um, the other thing too I wanted to talk with you more about is Stampin' Up. I used to have host codes every month, which allowed me to earn Stampin' Rewards. Like if you placed let's say you placed a $50 order. Well, a $50 order, something back wasn't enough for you to get Stampin' Rewards, but under a host code, I could collect them for the month. And then with those host code rewards, I was able to purchase things that I shared with you along the way. All right. Well, no more host codes, but they have a new program called Stampin' Rewards that you earn stamping rewards. You get 10% on any order over $20. So it's like shopping and saving 10% every time. So you get that 10% back in what's called Stampin' Rewards. And in order to have those, the things that you have to do, and I wrote them down here, so I'll keep looking down to check my notes. But you have to create an account on Stampin' Up. Okay. Then, like I said, for every online order over $20, you will earn 10%. Now that's on the amount before shipping and before tax. Okay. Then to redeem your rewards, you can do that at any time. You can save them up. Like if you, let's say you wanted to buy a bunch of paper, and one of the things that you really want is, say, the glass um, mat. Okay. But you don't really want to pay like out of pocket for the glass mat. You can save up your 10% Stampin' Rewards, and then when you get enough, put it towards your glass mat or your um, Stampin' Cut and Emboss or whatever it is that you might, or a suite of products, whatever it is you may be wanting, then you can redeem your Stampin' Rewards. And you can redeem multiples too. So that's why I said you can save them up, but you do have to watch because they're only good for 12 months from the date of purchase. So let's say I buy something this month, okay, which of course I will because the new catalog is going live. But let's say you purchase that and you would have to redeem them before um, April 30th of next year, or you would lose them. So it is something that when you log into your Stampin' Up! Account, you want to look and see what your Stampin' Rewards are and when they are expiring so that you can use them for your monthly purchases. If you're a monthly purchaser, a quarterly purchaser, whatever you might be, just know that you will be earning your own stamping rewards, and you will be responsible for redeeming your own Stampin' Rewards. About Stampin' Rewards, today is the last day. They were offering yesterday and today any purchases, you will earn 2 times double Stampin' Rewards. So it's like shopping and getting 20% off. So you are going to want to take a look at this catalog. If there are still things on your wish list, grab them now because they're 20% off, okay? And by 20% off, I mean your redeemable stamping reward, okay? It's not an instant deduction on your order. Okay, so there's that. Oh, I was going to tell you one other thing. Starter kits are not included, so you cannot join and use your Stampin' Rewards to purchase a starter kit, okay? And one other thing, Paper Pumpkin does count. Even your month-to-month subscriptions, you will earn $2 a month. So it's like getting $2 off from your Paper Pumpkin, okay? The 3 month prepaid, you get $6 in Stampin' Rewards. The 6 month prepaid subscription, you will get $12. And then the 12-month prepaid, you will earn $24 in Stampin' Rewards. So if you need help figuring that out or you have questions, I'm here. I'm happy to help you with that. If all you have to do is reach out to me, okay? All right. I think I've covered everything except that, check it out, new catalog. And this one we can start ordering from on Tuesday. So get ready, get your list, get it going. And remember, you will earn, make your account, your online account at stampinup.com and start earning your Stampin' Rewards. It's a great deal. It's like shopping at a discount, right? Okay, I'm going to switch down to my workstation and we'll get started. That was a lot of business stuff, I know, but I just like to keep you in the know so that you can, hey Mary, that you can kind of, what do I want to say? Seek the opportunities that are there to stop and to understand how your Stampin' Rewards are going to work. So, all right, let's flip down. Workstation and a drink of coffee. All right, today I told you that we're going to take a look at Paper Pumpkin, and I have always been a fan of Paper Pumpkin. I love Paper Pumpkin. Um, and this month, well, it was April 2025. May's Paper Pumpkin doesn't ship out until after the 10th of the month. So there's still time for you to grab a Paper Pumpkin subscription if you so choose. And if you do, please sign up. Oh, thanks, Beth. You are welcome. Um, there have been so many changes, as you are well aware of, and yeah, sometimes it seems like it's a little hard to keep up, but I do my best and I share with you the best I can. All right, let's go to this Paper Pumpkin. Look at the beautiful box that came. Yep. And inside this box, it's always wrapped in a beautiful piece of tissue paper. And as you can see, I'm kind of like the old lady. I fold up my tissue paper and sometimes I just reuse that. All right. So inside the box, I wanted to show you everything that comes in the box. You get this instruction sheet, which is a step-by-step of how to put there's 3 card designs in this month's kit. And you get to make 3 of each, so 9 cards. And the stamp set this month is amazing. So let me show you that. Step-by-step instructions. And it also gives you like the coordinating colors. So the coordinating colors this month are, you get the Berry Burst, Stamp and Spot. But here are the coordinating colors. Berry Burst, Pool Party, Gorgeous Grape, Highland Heather, Peach Pie, Fresh Freesia, and Flirty Flamingo. And we'll play with these a little bit after we're done going through Paper Pumpkin. Okay. You also get the little mini Stampin' Dimensionals. They give you a printout of the ink or of the stamp set so that if you store it, you can easily store it in a case. I'll show you how I store mine. Maybe I'll do that right now. But this is how I store my paper pumpkins. And my cases are full, but I purchased these kits or these cases. They're called photo cases at Michael's. They're on sale right now. I'm going today to get a couple new ones. But then is what I like to do is I put that artwork image on the back of my case and I just cut the name off from either the box or there's a printout that you can do. And then I just quickly cut out part of it so I can kind of remember what it was like. And then on the inside of these, I store the instructions, the ink spot, and then the stamp set and any extra pieces that there may have been from that kit. And you can't believe how many times I've gone back for different sentiments and whatnot out of my paper pumpkin kit. So that's how I store them. There's a nice little handle lock here. I don't know. It works for me. So I just thought I would share it with you. And those are on sale at Michael's, like I said, right now for $16.99. All right. Then in the kit, going back to that, we've got our stamp set. We've got our adhesive. We have our ink. We have all of the die cut pieces that we need to make 9 beautiful cards, all of the card bases. And I'm going to show you something in just a minute but like I said, the kit is designed for 9 cards, but you can make a lot more cards with these if you so choose. Right, so there's our card bases. Look you get the 9 beautiful matching envelopes. I love these. I think they're so pretty. I can't wait to send them. All right, so here's our little die cut pieces that I was telling you about. Then these are the gold punched out pieces. More die cut pieces. And then here I have done one of each of the cards. As you can see, this one says hugs, sending my love. This says congratulations on your retirement. And now remember, all of these stamps are in your kit, right? So thinking of you. And look at the back of them. So if you want to, and you want to maximize your kit and make more cards, is all you need to do is take your trimmer, you take this card, and you just cut it at 4 1/4, and that'll cut it right on the score line. And now you have 2 card bases instead of 1. And by that, I mean, let's take a plain piece of white cardstock, and I'm just going to cut this at full. Well, let me show you something else. Do you know this little trick where if you put it in at the 5 1/2 mark and you pour it, and then you put it in at 4 1/4 and you cut it out of one 8 1/2 by 11 piece of cardstock, you get 2 card bases. And then you just score once and cut once for the two pieces. All right. Now, like I said, these are going to be the same size as your card front. So if you want to leave them full like that, you can. And now when you open them, you just have the white. Okay? I think that's making sense. So there. Now if I do that, and I were to do that on all 9 of the card bases, that means I have 18 card shapes. Okay, you've just doubled your cards. And as you can see, all 3 designs are double-sided. All right. So let's make one just for the sake of making one, okay? And is what I want to do because I do want to maximize my card kit. I am going to cut this at 4 1/4. Right. So there's my card base. And then this one is in the, what am I trying to say? This one is in the landscape orientation. Geez, there's the word. So I'm going to take this card and I'm going to score it at 4 1/4. And now this is going to fit right on my card front. Right? So let me get my stamp and seal. And I'm just going to give this some adhesive. And I'm going to put this on my card front. And it's what I'd like to do is set them down and match up the edges because you have a way better chance of getting it on there straight if you do that, okay? All right, so there's our card base. I'm going to take my bone folder and just give that a good crease. Now, it's how they're saying to design this card is you punch out this beautiful spray of, they look like, to me, they kind of look like dandelions, but you just punch it out. And this is really a delicate one, so be careful. Just stay close to the edge when you're, keep your fingers close to the edge when you're pulling it away so you don't tear it. So now I've got this. Isn't that pretty? I think you can see it. Let me put it on some white. But it's all like ombre and beautiful. And then is all they want you to do is take your little adhesive dots that you got in your kit. And I like using my Take Your Pick tool for the minis, the mini dimensionals, because it just, I don't know, I think I maybe just have soft fingers or something, but, and they show you right in the directions where to place these dimensionals. Let me show that to you. I just think this is so cool because, you know, people look at cards and they're like, oh, I could never do that. Oh, yes, you can. It is not hard. So that is what they're asking you to do is to put, let's go to the right one here. They're asking you to put 4 dimensionals across the bottom as well. See, even with my Take Your Pick tool, I still managed to get the sticky side towards my finger. All right, so now I'm just going to take the wax paper backings off. And I know for you experienced stampers out there, this is just a little too basic, but um, I I don't mind watching basic videos either because sometimes people have techniques that are like, hey, I never thought of doing it that way, and what an easy way to Well, about that. Now, you've got those sticky things on the top, right? So I'm just going to line this up with the bottom of my card. And then once I get it in place, then I'll press the top ones down. But you see how pretty that is? Just glowing. Oh, yeah. She's watching me, she said. I know. All right. Well, thank you for watching me. I appreciate that. Then my next thing that I want to show you is you can see that they're saying to stamp using the berry burst onto one of these notes, right? So we've got the congratulations, and we've got this one that's in the shape of thinking of you. So is what I've done, and granted, I know I said that the products I use are on my online store. The one thing that's not is my stamp positioner here. It's the Stamparatus, which I absolutely love. But everybody's got to have some kind of a, um, yeah, um, everybody's kind of got to have some sort of stamp positioner is what I'm trying to say. And this, what I've done is I took the other one like this and I cut it just like so. And now I have these stencils, right, for these cutouts. So is what I like to do is I like to take the thinking of you and I put it right in here, right? But it's how I really set this up, and I should back up to that point. I took the thinking of you stamp and I put it flat side and centered it up in this cutout or the negative, all right? So it looks like that. Then I'm going to pick it up with my stamp positioner. I thought by putting all those magnets it would stay flat. So now, at like a puzzle piece, I'm going to lay this cutout in there. And then I'm going to be using my large berry burst, but I'm going to take the berry burst. I'm going to ink up the thinking of you. I think I'm doing better this week too about staying in my camera. Last week I was stamping outside the camera and it was just kind of a, I know, Beth, I love this kit too. And yeah, it's, I have not been disappointed. There was a time where Paper Pumpkin got a little bit weird, I will not lie. But look at, you just get the perfect inking every time. And if you didn't get a good image with a stamp positioner, you always have the chance to go back and restamp again. Okay. And you do only get a certain number of these. I think to give you an extra one just in case you make a mistake that you can go back. I'm going to set this over here. You can see I've done the same thing for the congratulations, right? And being that I've got this here, I'm going to pop the little piece in the cutout, and then I'm going to take my top plate here, which I had already lined up. You see that? So now I'm going to take this with my berry burst. And like I said, I used my full-size pads instead of my Stampin' Spot. A lot of times I'll gift my Stampin' Spot. Right. So there's my congratulations. And I just leave this in place because as you can see, I still have two more. So I'm not going to do those now, but I just want you to see that actually there's two more here too. But I just wanted you to see the process of how to stamp on these and get that perfect image if you have a stamp positioner. Okay. All right. So I'm going to take these off so that I don't mess up my little pieces there. Clean those up later. I just wanted to have it so that we could finish this card. I'm going to take and put my dimensionals, and again, it shows me right here. It says to put one right above the Y, and if I turn it the same way as they have it, makes it a little easier. Put one in here and put another one down here. I'm going to take my backings off. And then it shows you the placement right here. So like right in there. Am I thinking of you? I love it. I'm going to move this one up a little bit before I press down really hard. All right. So we're still not done. There are little butterflies that came in this kit. Little butterfly stamp. And is what they're asking us to do is to stamp the one that has two butterflies. So I'm going to ink it up. I do want to wipe off this edge because I do not want to get ink on my beautiful die clip there. And that's what would more than likely happen by doing that. All right, and it shows us the placement of the two. I'm going to stamp it. And then let's get that one butterfly. I'm going to ink it up. And it shows that we should stamp that right down here. Oops, I'm going to take off that extra ink again here because I don't want to get it on my, it's on a beautiful die cut if it should touch. Right. So there we have our beautiful card. And now I can stamp whatever I want on the inside. Thinking of you. And the one thing I want to show you, this is from the new catalog. And I think this sentiment set is amazing. There are the best sentiments in there. And this will be available for purchase on Tuesday. So if you want to write it down, but it's called The Right Words. And there is a stamp in here that I just absolutely love. Well, there's a bunch of them, but thinking of you, and then um, so there's a couple of sympathy sentiments in here that I love. I wish I had the right words for a time like this, or hoping the loss you feel right now will be eased by wonderful memories. I just think those are so pretty. And then this one, forever loved, forever remembered. I don't know. There's some funny ones in here too, like, I really don't like that you're leaving, but I hope you love where you're going. I don't know. I think they're fun. And then this little one, look, it's just like dot, dot, dot a lot. So you can go thinking of you, and then on the inside, a lot. I just think they're fun. But anyway, I'm going to grab this, and we are going to put, um, I like the butterfly. So I'm going to do hoping the last to feel right now will be eased by wonderful memories. Don't be discouraged because in the stamp set, there are plenty of things. If you have thinking of you, on the inside, you can just put sending my love or I'm here for you. I don't know. There's lots of good things. Or just even the hugs. I think that's good. And then the other thing I didn't mention, but there are coordinating dies that if you are a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, you can order the dies. And in here, there is a die for the hugs. So if you wanted to carry that gold theme through, you could just die cut the hugs and put it on the inside. I am going to choose to stamp this hoping the last you feel right now. And I'm going to show you something that I think is pretty cool. So I'm going to stamp this. Okay. And I'm going to stamp. I'm just going to set that off to the side. And then I'm going to stamp that right in my card, on the inside of my card. And remember how I like to hold it down for a few seconds just so that ink has time to penetrate the fibers of the paper. And now before I close it, I'm going to carry in um, our little butterflies. And where's that other one I had? Here it is. I'm just going to do like these 3 little butterflies there. And there's our card. And now, because I split the card base, I have enough to do another card using the base. I'm not going to have enough of the die cut pieces, but that's where these things come in really handy. All right. So there's that. Love it. And I bet anything, Donna, that you are so proud of me for stamping the inside sentiment. Yesterday, Donna came over, and I am not kidding. We stamped inside sentiment on, I don't know, what do you think, Donna? Well, probably 500 cards. I don't know. I have more cards than, like my mom always say, I have more cards than Carter's has bills, you know? So now I can cut this out with the dies, and um, if I wanted to carry that little gold theme through, I can cut out some gold foil flowers and grab some of the, because the coordinating color was pool party, I could actually cut out some pool party leaves, or I could cut some out of berry burst and make a little, um, what am I trying to say, a little focal piece for the front of my card. If you really wanted to get crafty, and this is going a little far, but I think this is why I end up with so many cards. So when I measure this measures 5.5. So I am going to cut this at 2 3/4. So now I have 2 pieces of card base. And because they give you all the coordinating colors, I just want to show you these because it's incredible with one kit and a few other, like the die cutting piece there for the dies that coordinate. And the dies coordinate quarterly. So if you were to order this will go with um, April, May, June. The dies will coordinate. Okay. So what did I cut that at? 2 3/4. So I'm going to cut this at 2 5/8. And is what that's going to do. So, and this is what, how wide? 4 1/4. So I'm going to cut this at 4 3/8. Oh, I don't know if I did this right. I didn't. All right, let's try this again. So this measured 2 3/4. So actually, I wanted to cut this at 3. I don't know why I was getting all weird with the eighth of an inch, but no, it happens. And my favorite line is, it's just paper. So cut some more. All right, what did I say? 4 1/4. So I did want this to be. So now I've got this little skinny mat. Let me grab my other card base that I had here. And now I can put this on, and let's die cut a few things too. I'm going to bring in I'm going to be off camera here for a second just to dye. And but you know what? Actually, I should bring this in because it's cool. So this little mini die cutting machine, if you don't want full size, works perfectly for these types of projects. So I have cutting plate one, or platform one, cutting plate two. I'm going to put my sentiment in there, and I'm going to use the die that came in the coordinating die set called Hug the Bloom dies, plural. Okay, I'm going to roll this through, and look at this beautiful stitch piece I get. So now I can add that to my card front, and actually, yeah. All right, let me grab a scrap of Pool Party. And I also want to grab a little scrap of old foil. Grabbing out of my bin here. All right. So here's my scrap of Pool Party. I'm going to put this down, and I can cut two at once here. But there's my leaves from the Hugs of Bloom die. And let me put my gold flowers there and my cutting plate. And now we're going to roll it through. And if you have the mini die cutting machine, you know that you want to stagger your cutting plates. You don't want everything even, and it will cut them out like a charm. Okay, so now we have this beautiful gold flower. Oh, those little center seeds, they're just like impressed. They aren't supposed to be die cut out yet. And let's get my take your pick tool and the little holes on the back of the die. I'm just going to help poke the leaves out of there. And these are beautiful too. Can you see the imprint on there? Who's saying hello there? Janine, hello. Hello, hello. So now let's get rid of all of the clutter here, and we'll put our cards together. So now do you see what's happened? Now we can make 3 cards out of 1 card base. And let's put this together and see what we've got, okay? And who knows? Maybe we want one more. I'm going to try one more thing. Sorry. I just think this looks a little bit too white. So is what I'm going to do is take a piece, let's see if I've got a rough piece of basic white. No. So I do right here. And is what I want to do is I just want to cut a piece that measures 4 by 5 1/4. I'm just going to cut that right now. All this stuff ahead of time. And then it was like, well, what wanted to do to show you how this works. But there is an, let's see what, this is an old um, 3D embossing folder. It's the layered florals. And you probably have it in your stash. It was a very popular embossing folder. And I'm just going to run this through my standard size die cutting machine here. I'll show you what I'm thinking with this, and I think it'll work. So using this 3D embossing folder through the standard, I get this beautiful floral embossed piece, right? So I'm going to take this and I'm going to adhere this. I'm going to adhere this down to my card base. So now I've got white on white, but I've got texture and it's pretty. Right. Let's see. She is very proud of me, and it was 500 at least. That was our cards yesterday, putting sentiments in. Um, that that sometimes I'm very bad at, because I like making the card prints and then I move on to something else and I don't finish them, and then it's like, oh boy, now I have to go back and stack it and stamp insert. So here's our piece, right, that we cut in half. This one I am going to put down flat because we've got the raised um, embossing. So I'm going to put this on just like that. This I'm going to pop up, and I'm going to use my dimensionals that came in my paper pumpkin kit. Remember, these dies are an add-on. You must be a paper pumpkin subscriber in order to get them. And you know what else I didn't mention about paper pumpkin is they do have refills available. So if you wanted to order, just paper refills to get more of the die cuts and tags and all of that, you can do that. I'm going to put this right down here towards the, whoops, I didn't center it very good. See, if you don't press down hard, you can take those little dimensionals up. Right, that's much better. Then this, I want to take a dimensional and just put right in the center there. And I'm going to lay that in so that just petals cut, and then our leaves. And these, I'm going to give just a little bit of our multi-purpose green. Ooh, that was a mess. Wonder why that's like kind of liquidy. Almost is acting like it froze. Maybe it did. All right. I'm going to tuck this in behind. All right. So there we have it. And if we wanted to, before I put this on, but we still can, let's take our berry burst and our butterflies that came in our kit, and we can just stamp a few butterflies in here. And look how pretty it is. I hope that I have shown you some little tips and tricks. I also hope that I've inspired you to consider subscribing to Paper Pumpkin. And I really am a true believer that you can make some beautiful cards without having to purchase a ton of supplies, because everything you need Everything you need to make these beautiful cards comes in the kit. And then if you want to move outside and do Luann, that's sweet. She said beautiful. So there we have it for today, you guys. It was again, last week we did the ephemera pack. I am not kidding. I think I made over 60 cards with those ephemera packs, the note cards. And it turned out to be quite fun. And I just felt challenged by it. Like, let's see how many cards or what we can come up with. So, like I said, I hope I've inspired you, Janine. I think you're pretty awesome too. All right, ladies, have a great rest of your weekend. Thank you for hopping on, and I will see you next Saturday at 9 a.m. Central. All right, don't forget that Monday is the last day to order from the mini catalog, and Tuesday we can start ordering from the annual catalog. So, anyway, get looking, get shopping, get making your list, and then remember that today is the last day to get the um, double stamp and reward. So have a great rest of your weekend, and I will be back next Saturday. Bye for now.